So, folks, real quick, we're gonna be talking about the Epstein files that just dropped. Not comprehensively, but we're gonna be talking about some of the things in them that stood out to me. Brace yourselves, and also trigger warning. Obviously, it's Elon Musk, it's Epstein, it's Trump, it's all kinds of gross, gross, disgusting stuff, and a lot of other folks as well. But we need to talk about it. It's important. And so, yeah, rather be a pig than a fascist. Studio Ghibli, true. Porco Rosso, legendary. K-Thing, thank you very much for supporting the show. And yeah, let's see. So Elon Musk has previously said that he was invited to Epstein's Island. Then he said, but I said no. I said no. And, well, that appears to be what they call in the business a lie. Here is Elon Musk emailing Jeffrey Epstein's vacation account. Will be in the BVI/St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? I will send heli for you. Sorry for all the typos sent from my iPhone. Thanks. So, one, Elon Musk asked, the world's richest man asked to attend at Epstein Island. Do you think someone would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies? Yep. yeah, I do think that they would do that, yeah. I just it gets worse than that too. Like, there's one of these emails between Epstein and Musk, because there are multiple, it's not just the one time, where Musk requests what night the wildest parties are going to be, so that he can go to Jeffrey Epstein's sexual assault island and party it up.
Pedophilia tonight, bro. Child sex crimes tonight, king. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's super gross. It's super gross. And yes, like, a lot of, like, what is especially interesting about a lot of these correspondence are that many of them take place after Jeffrey Epstein was already convicted.
I can't believe my billionaire would fib. A dirty fibber, a billionaire. Unbelievable.
Whoa. You're talking about him as a billionaire. What about him as a humble country web developer? Why, he's been known to code a thing or two. He's just from humble beginnings, like that cabbage farmer in Rome, who became emperor and then gave it all away. Cincinnatus, that's who I'm thinking of. Haha, what night are you gonna have the wildest party? Haha, it'd be so cool and fun. I love to come to your craziest party. Ha 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 ha. God, it's really disgusting, you know? Like, I know none of us should be shocked at this point.
I guess everyone's pants are on fire now, SMH.
If only. If only. You know what? Let's check in. What is Elon Musk talking about? Let's just take a look at him yesterday. Oh, Elon Musk. How old is Elon Musk? Elon Musk age. He's 54 years old. And he spent his day the other day railing against Peppa Pig. Woke programming is everywhere in children's education shows and books. And it's because Penny Polar Bear has like two moms. Like, his problem is literally just gay people existing. But beyond the fact that it's just rank bigotry, right? It takes on an especially sinister, like an even more sinister tone when you really take into account that this guy was requesting to attend Jeffrey Epstein's wildest parties on the island known for child rape, and after Jeffrey Epstein was already convicted as a pedophile and sex criminal. So, like, his obsession with children's media in this way is especially grotesque. Especially grotesque.
Better than what the Groi pigs are doing to children with Grok.
Oh yeah, silly me. You know, Elon Musk, the guy who invented the world's largest child sex abuse material factory. You know, the factory that makes child sex abuse materials on unprecedented scales. Something that was apparently churning out like 1 million images like per hour or something like that of like sexually explicit material of children. Like, oh, this guy was friends with Epstein and wanted to party with him? The guy who advocated for less safeguards on the image generation technology that he then desperately tried to defend at every turn? Wow, that's shocking that he would be such good friends with Epstein. Wow. It's who would have thought? But I also just want to say, like, there are so many other people implicated in this. I came across this great thread by Colin Carlson about a man named Nathan Wolfe. And this is just wild as hell. And Nathan, like, works with viruses. And just as one example from this long thread, I'm going to link it for all of you to take a look at here, all right? Nathan and Jeffrey appear to have shared a long-term interest in the scientific basis of sexual appetite in women, including options such as rabies, the search for a female Viagra, and a study trying to find the horny virus that makes college girls want to have more sexual partners. Like, it gets worse from there, and I frankly, I'm just not gonna go deeper down this rabbit hole with you guys. You can, of course, pursue it more if you'd like, but it's really gross. Like, all of this stuff is disgusting as hell. And I would like to just show one more allegation here, communication rather, that exists in this document drop, which is from one Barnaby Marsh to Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't really know how to put it. Again, this is after Jeffrey Epstein's conviction. The subject line of this email...
These MFs are trying to make hentai plots a reality.
No, it's worse. It's so much worse, Nathan. It's so much worse. The subject line of this email is baby smell.
Can't let Bezos keep his money. He's probably in the files too.
I mean, probably in the files that they haven't released yet, because they have only released half of the files. Yeah. So this guy, Barnaby Marsh, sends Jeffrey Epstein an email that says baby smell, that has 3 different links to an article from 2013 titled There's Nothing Like New Baby Smell, and then goes on to say, only bacteria on skin. I learned a lot here. And then links to a Wikipedia article about skin flora. And there is a world that exists where maybe someone wants to know why a baby smells the way that it does. Because, like, babies do smell like a certain way, and that's an interesting question to pursue. But in this very specific context, where you're talking about an acquaintance of Jeffrey Epstein is emailing specifically about baby smell, when these people are talking about it, I'm sorry, my mind goes to the worst possible conclusion. It is, it's a very disgusting context, and I think you can kind of put together the context I'm talking about from the previous 2 examples from Elon Musk and this guy, Nathan Wolfe, who's talking about finding sexually appealing rabies to turn women on. Yeah, it's really gross. So I would really advise you guys, for your own mental health, don't go digging in these files willy-nilly, because you start 1,000-yard staring really quick. Okay? And I just want to say, it does not seem like the DOJ is on the up and up here. Here's the Deputy AG Todd Blanche answering a question rather. Sorry.
Very quickly, can you assure the American public that President Trump, like every other prominent person whose name came up in relation to the Epstein files, that all documents, photos, and anything relevant to him connected to the case are being released?
I mean, yes, I can assure that we complied with the statute, we complied with the act, and there is no, we did not protect President Trump, we didn't protect or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that...
Okay, number one, Todd Blanche, far be it from me to offer you fashion advice, but you literally look like you're disappearing into your suit. What is this right here, man? You look like you bought a suit that's like 3 sizes too big, and you're like turtling down inside to escape from the questions you're being asked. Yeah. That
there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents.
Well, you're wrong there, Deputy AG Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's former personal lawyer. You're wrong, because there's still half of the Epstein files left to release. And also some weird things have been happening with the documents on the DOJ's server related to allegations directed towards Donald Trump, but we'll get to that in a moment.
There's nothing I can do about that. But President Trump, of all the people in Washington, D.C. and around this country that have said for years the same consistent message about Jeffrey Epstein is President Trump. And so there's not been a change of course or anything, and certainly his direction to the American people and the his direction to the Department of Justice was to be as transparent, release the files, be as transparent as we can.
John Fallon, I'm sorry, but his name is Jeffrey Epstein. I haven't been calling him Jeff. I've been calling him Jeffrey. And I'm sorry if that bothers you, but there are going to be other people in the world who have the name Jeffrey.
And that's exactly what we did.
Very quickly, can you assure the American public that President...
I just, no, you can't. Your credibility is in the garbage, man. You were supposed to release all of these emails over a month ago. Took you a month and a half to comb through it, and you're saying it took you so long because you had to make sure that you were making sure that victims' names weren't being thrown out there. And well, guess what? Survivors' names. Attorneys for hundreds of Epstein survivors told ABC News that names and identifying information of numerous victims appear unredacted in this latest disclosure, including several women whose names have never before been publicly associated with the case. We are getting constant calls for victims because their names, despite them never coming forward, being completely unknown to the public, have all just been released for public consumption. Attorney Brad Edwards, who has represented Epstein victims for more than 20 years, said in a telephone interview with ABC News. It's literally thousands of mistakes. So I'm sorry if your argument was it took so long to release these because we had to make sure we got it right. We had to make sure we got it right. And but you didn't get it right. In some of these cases, you actually got it so wrong that you have caused irreparable harm to the survivors that did not want their names public. ABC News independently confirmed numerous instances of victims' names appearing in documents, including in the latest release. Shortly after the new material appeared on Friday morning, Edwards said he and his law partner, Brittany Henderson, began receiving calls from clients. We contacted DOJ immediately, who has asked us to flag each of the documents where the victims' names appear unredacted, and they will pull them down. It's an impossible job. The easy job would be for the DOJ to type in all the victims' names, hit redact like they promised to do, then release them. And that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, they made a big show that it's going to take months maybe to release all of these documents because we have to go through and meticulously make sure no one's information is unfairly revealed to the public. And then they immediately dick over every single one of these survivors. It is actually criminal. Like, everyone associated with this project should go to jail. This is criminal levels of negligence. Like, the reason these survivors didn't want their names public was so that they wouldn't get harassed by freaks in the MAGA coalition who are spending their free time harassing survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. And not only that, but like a lot of these people have families. They have like kids. They're trying to keep their kids safe. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm right there with you, Derp G's. I'm right there with you because in my mind, this has to be intentional. This has to be intentional. They have to have done this on purpose, specifically to draw targets on accusers' backs, on the women who are making these allegations, in order to get them attacked, in order to get them mobbed, in order to shut them up. And the only thing I can really come to a conclusion about this with is that they knew they had to release these documents, but they were trying to figure out a way to make it a whole dog and pony show. And the way that they decided that they would do that is by trying to sick their audience, sick their followers on these women, make that the story, have that be the thing that dominates, and let all these other allegations muddy the waters. Yeah, they wanted to punish the survivors. It is just an extension of the retribution campaign that the Trump administration has been about since the beginning. And I'm sorry, the DOJ specifically said that they were redacting all these files. And now they're trying to say, well, it's the victim's job to redact their own files. But not the perpetrators. That's the interesting part, right? Like, that's what gives away the entire game. They're saying it is the job of the victims to redact their own files, but don't worry, all of you people who perpetrated, we're going to cover for you. You know? A lot of the files still have redactions for people who are powerful and rich. A lot of the files, over half of them, have yet to be released. Like, this just... They really said that? According to this ABC article, according to the lawyers for the victims, we contacted the DOJ immediately, who has asked us to flag each of the documents where victim names appear unredacted. And they will pull them down, which is saying the burden of, redacting your victim name is on you and your lawyer. It's sick. It's actually sick. And, all of this being said, it is worth noting two last additional pieces of information here, right? Number one, that we have here what appears to be FBI tips. And these FBI tips include allegations of being forced to perform sexual acts with Donald Trump. Some of these are multiple decades old, 35 years old. I just gotta say, like, we also get to see the response that the FBI had to these tips, right? Spoke with caller who identified blank as friend. Lead was sent to Washington office to conduct interview. 2 voicemails left, no response received. In response to someone claiming to be a personal assistant to Epstein in Florida from 86 to 91. There appears to be several of these. And again, like, there was a period of time where this was pulled out of the archive for whatever reason and got added back in later. But, and I'm not going to link this in chat. I don't think it will do you any good to read it, but understand that there are pages and pages of FBI tips alleging grotesque sexual crimes committed by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Unknown at this time whether or not the FBI actually substantiated any of it and then buried that information. But I, again, don't recommend you check. I don't recommend you check it out for yourselves. You know, let journalists sift through it and like collect that information for you in a way that is less psychologically scarring. You don't need this in your life. I regret just reading like a couple of these pages, and it's bad. But I also want to stress, like I did earlier, that these FBI tips are allegations. They are not necessarily substantiated. Okay?
I'm going to bow out. I have heard enough about this document dump. I am going to unplug and meditate.
Chris Huggins, that is more than okay. Thank you for the $10 super chat. You have a pleasant meditation.
PLZ mentioned the calendar girl stuff. At least apparently Don Jr. and Ivanka went to Daddy Trump's pedo party.
I don't feel the need to do that. Again, I started this out by saying I have not taken a comprehensive look at all of this, and I'm probably not going to. Like, my city is currently under ICE occupation. I'm going to leave this to other folks who have a stronger mental fortitude for this type of abuse than I do. But I just have to add one last thing that is pertinent, which is that Donald Trump just a couple days ago named a man called Kevin Warsh as the guy he wants to be head of the Federal Reserve. And turns out Kevin Warsh is in the Epstein files. Pops up in latest Epstein files. Warsh's name appears to be on an email list of guests to St. Barth's Christmas 2010, among others such as Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich and disgraced director Brett Ratner. Hey, Brett Ratner, didn't he just direct the new hit film Melania? It's almost like all of these people know each other from some kind of, I don't know, elite party circuit that they were on. Strange. And, yeah, here is the email from blank to Jeffrey Epstein's vacation email.
Howard Lutnick is also mentioned.
Oh yeah, a bunch of people are mentioned. I'm nowhere near being comprehensive. Here's the list I just sent Harvey, blank. How many people are with you tomorrow? Do you know blank? Steve Cohen next door, blank. Met him, and Larry Gogo next to Isle de France. Keep me posted. And again, to CC from C, all blanked out. Please look this over. I think Roman's boat is bigger than Ron Perlman's. Here's a list of everyone I know that's coming down so far. Please advise where and when to screen. God, I hope Ron Perlman isn't implicated in all this. God, I hope not. That being said, here's now the guest list. Almost like Trump has Epstein's little book. Almost. You've got... Oh, guest number 21, Kevin Warsh. Warsh has always been involved in monetary policy, having been appointed to the Fed in 2006. But his inclusion in the Epstein files is actually not surprising, considering his wife is billionaire heiress Jane Lauder, granddaughter of Estee Lauder, and daughter of Republican donor Ronald Lauder. That puts him in the same wealthy circles that Epstein himself operated in. And so, wow. Crazy. Wait. Okay, wait. Disaster averted, folks. This Ron Perlman has 2 E's in his last name. Actor Ron Perlman only has 1 E in his last name. Okay. Whew,
I hope Steve Buscemi isn't in their Spy Kids 2. Would never be the same lol.
Nah, Steve Buscemi strikes me as a good dude. You know? I don't know. It just seems like such a shame. Donald Trump spent so much time and effort picking out the perfect guy to head the new Federal Reserve. And now, the guy he picked just happened to be in the Epstein files. I mean, it's an honest mistake. Whomst among us can't go outside and throw a pebble without hitting somebody who is in the Epstein files, am I right? I mean, after all, we all live on a billionaire island that has a suspicious number of children on it, right? Oh, that's right. That only applies to, like, Donald Trump and, like, 50 of his friends. Okay, cool. Oops, all Epsteins, indeed. It's just so gross. And I want to remind people one last time before we close out this segment. This is from Ranking Member Robert Garcia on the House Oversight Committee. Donald Trump and his Department of Justice have now made it clear they intend to withhold roughly 50% of the Epstein files, while claiming to have fully complied with the law. This is outrageous and incredibly concerning. The Oversight Committee subpoena directs Pam Bondi to release all the files to the committee while protecting survivors. They are in violation of the law. We are demanding the names of Epstein's co-conspirators and the men and pedophiles who abused women and girls. We will begin a thorough review of this latest limited production, but let's be clear, our work and investigation are just getting started. Yeah, we're not done. We're not done, folks. We're going to make sure that justice is served here. All right? So, folks, that's where all this stands, and it's just, again, so weird that all this Epstein news keeps constantly derailing Donald Trump's plans, almost like he's implicated in it somehow. But that couldn't possibly be. We couldn't possibly let someone who was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for like 15, 20 years, and we couldn't let someone like that be president. We couldn't let someone who's found civilly liable for sexual assault be president. That's crazy. That's crazy. We couldn't let somebody who's known for saying how it's okay to grab women by the genitals, we couldn't let someone like that be president. We couldn't let somebody who thinks it's fine to go and look at naked underage girls at beauty pageants, we couldn't let someone like that be president. What a world that would be. Just a disgusting, terrible, horrible world. Anyway, folks, get organized. Join your local Dems, join your local DSA. We got to get organized so we can beat these creepy,
Jack,
creepy
did you see
people.
that Epstein got banned from Xbox Live for being a registered sex offender? Probably more serious of a penalty than the federal government imposed on him.
Yeah, and the head of Microsoft kept hanging out with him after he was banned off of Xbox Live for being a pedophile. It's weird, strange that. I wonder why. What did they have in common that bound them together? This Is America Music Intensifies. I'm not gonna lie, I have had that song going on repeat in my head for like the last couple weeks. Anyway, folks, hit that follow button. Do you have thoughts about this segment? Do you have thoughts about the Epstein files? Let me know down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. And I want to be done with this segment as soon as possible. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather around. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, dating, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack. Riverboat.